Namaste. Welcome to Monday evening. A wonderful yin hour that we have together. Hope you all have had a good weekend and you enjoyed the beautiful snow. Some of you might not like snow, but it was stunning yesterday and today's been a beautiful day. So I feel really happy and joyful. So the last few weeks, I can't believe we're in the last week of January. Where has January gone? We've been looking at ways in which we can use our yoga tools to help us, combat all the negative stuff that is arising from this scenario that we find ourselves in. And last week we looked at pratyahara, which was the fifth limb of yoga. The first five limbs they're all kind of to do with the outer self, if you like. And the last three, Dharana, Dhyana, and Samadhi are very inwards. They're very inner focused, and everything. It's like a ladder. The 8 limbs are kind of like a ladder. I've just been doing some training with Travis Elliott online, and he has a beautiful way of describing it. That it is like a ladder to kind of like connecting to the self. You do all these things. Really, in all honesty, the first 2 limbs, which are the yamas and niyamas, have to be achieved before you can then do the asana, be ready to do the asana, which is what we do every week physically. And then you move on, and then it's all towards this aim of being able to sit and meditate. But before you can meditate, you need to concentrate. So Dharana is our focus this week, and we're going to have a specific focus in terms of chakras. So we're going to do a chakra yin hour. So, you can call it a Chakra Dharana if you like, because on a very basic level, and it's very difficult to capture in essence what Sanskrit words mean in English. And when you translate Dharana, a lot of the time you'll hear concentration as a translation, but it doesn't really capture its true essence. And really it's more about focused awareness, if you like, rather than just a simple concentration. And so in order to help us in our yin practice today, we're going to use our chakras. So we're going to start different today. We're going to start standing. Ooh. So we got our feet on the floor. So I'd like you to stand. It's not very often that we stand in a yin hour. Sorry to get you all up, guys. Shake it all up and then let's just arrive. So standing in Tadasana mountain pose, eyes are closed. And let's just take a moment to arrive at your yin hour. All right, so no sitting, no lying down, very different. Just feeling into your feet. Feel lifted from the crown of your head. And just focus, hone in on the breath. Gentle breath. Notice the temperature of the breath as it enters the nostrils and that subtle difference as it leaves. And I've mentioned this kind of breath work in yin practice before. It's called a breathless pause. So breathe in and just notice that breathless pause before you breathe out. Just standing here, just grounding through the feet, arriving, just letting everything else that's happening in your life right now just fade away because it's insignificant. It doesn't matter. Only right here, right now matters. A shift to an intentional focusing. Just focusing your awareness. And initially we're just going to use that breath and that breathless pause. Effortless breath. Peaceful pause. Set your intention to focus. So concentration is the process of binding the consciousness to a point, a place, a region, or an object. And today, we're going to bind our consciousness to the chakras, to colors maybe. Take a nice deep breath in. And exhale. If you feel like you need to open the eyes, you can open the eyes and maybe just shake off the legs a little bit. We're going to stay standing. We're going to come into dangling pose. Okay, so our first posture is going to be a standing posture. Take a nice deep breath in. Feel the energy from the feet coming all the way up. Bending slightly into the knees. And then you're going to start to roll the shoulders forward and start to just slide the hands down the front of the legs. Finding your way into dangling pose. And catch a hold of your alternate elbows here. And just settle in, find your edge. Remember that first principle of a yin practice is taking yourself to your edge and just dangling. And unlike a yang practice, the principle or the second principle of a yin practice is to remain still, is to resolve to hold that stillness. Now, if holding your alternate elbows creates too much intensity, you're welcome to take your fingertips down to support or use a brick. And just have your fingertips on the brick to give you a little bit of support. If you're happy to, just dangle here. I don't want it to be too intense. And remember, the third principle is time. And I am here to mind the time. When we do move out of our postures, we move out very, very mindfully. Take your awareness now to your feet. Just feel into your feet. Feel the rooting down into Mother Earth, and focus as well on that breathless pause. And as you exhale, just see if you can give your body permission to let go even more, to surrender. Just finding your edge, no pain, no discomfort, no muscle tightening, just relaxing into the posture. Visualization is a powerful tool when looking to bring focus and stillness. I'd like you to imagine breathing from the soles of your feet. Inhale all the way up the legs, taking that prana, that energy, to your tailbone, where the root chakra resides. If you like to visualize a color, red can be your focus. Binding the consciousness to a color or the Muladhara chakra, whichever resonates with you. Feed your red light with prana drawn from the earth. And perhaps start to see your light, or Muladhara, your root chakra, begin to glow a little brighter, to grow a little bigger. Keep surrendering, keep releasing, keep letting go, over and over. So very slowly from here, if you're holding onto your alternate elbows there, you can release your hands down, heel toe the feet to a distance where you know is going to be comfortable for Hindu squat malasana. And you can use a tower of bricks to sit on, because we're going to hold for about 3 or 4 minutes, Malasana. Start to squat down. You can keep your gaze down. Remember last week was all about Pratyahara, withdrawing the senses. So you can use Pratyahara and it leads nicely into Dharana, so concentration. Bring your hands to your chest there in prayer, thumbs connecting to your heart space, elbows to the inside of those knees, and using your tower of bricks or your bolster to sit on. If you're happy to hold Malasana, this Hindu squat, without the support, and you know that you're going to be able to hold that steady and comfortably for 3 or 4 minutes, then of course you can remove the support. Just coming down, just rooting through those feet. So this posture is very much about grounding, but also we start to feel it into our hips, the sacral chakra, Svadhisthana. So just gently start to open up the hips. Well, let's remain at the moment, our focus, our concentration on the root chakra, which is all about keeping life vibrant and sustainable. So if it's in balance, if your root chakra is in balance, you'll feel supported, you'll feel connected and grounded and safe in your own body. The root chakra is the primary stabilizing force for the energy body. And it brings in nourishment and vital energy to fuel most of the body's energy needs. Keep coming back to that breathless pause as the mind begins to get messy or wanders. Just usher yourself back to the breath and then back to where we want to bind our consciousness, to the root chakra. Red. Beautiful earthy red. Just learning to be silent. Let your quiet mind listen and absorb. And then very slowly from our Hindu squat, Malasana, we can remove the equipment from underneath, take your hands behind you. You're going to really enjoy just lying back down into a nice little cheeky Shavasana. So legs are wide, you can kick out those legs and roll yourself back and just find a rebound posture of Shavasana, corpse pose. Just allow the whole body to surrender into the support of the earth beneath. So feet are mat width apart, letting the feet flop out to the side. Turning the palms up to face the sky, arms away from the body. Tucking the chin in ever so slightly just to elongate the back of the neck. If you find that your lower back is giving you too much trouble, it's too intense lying flat like this, you can bend your knees, let the knees fall together and use this as a way of resetting and using this as your rebound pose. And just come back to that breathless pause for a moment while you are in Shavasana. And we just started to warm up those hips a little bit coming into Malasana. And we're going to continue to focus on the hips as we come into Happy Baby. So from your Shavasana, start to bring the knees in towards the chest. Maybe you want to squeeze them in and have a little rock from side to side initially. Okay, I'm going to turn myself to the side. And you're going to take a hold of the outside of those feet. And remember not to overreach, okay? You take yourself to your edge. You need to know that you can hold this Happy Baby, your expression of Happy Baby, for about 3 minutes this time. So if you feel like you're overreaching, hold on to the ankles or behind those knees. Have a nice right angle going on behind those knees. Flex your feet and try to relax your large muscles, okay? So your thigh muscles, your hamstrings, your calves. Try to totally relax the muscle groups so that we're able to work on a much deeper level. Okay, and come back to that breathless pause. Chakra Dharana, so focused or conscious awareness with our chakra. So now moving into the pelvis, sacral chakra, orange in color. Just see if you can picture a vibrant orange color. If you struggle to see colors, then picture a piece of fruit, an orange or a tangerine or something like that. Maybe you have an orange cardigan or a piece of clothing that's orange. You picture that in your mind, in your mind's eye, and then you can fixate on the color. Keep the breath nice and even. Now you have this orange vision or this orange color or light. Take your awareness and that light to that pelvis. And let's see if you can visualize this beautiful orange light there, getting a sense of how it's functioning for you. Breathe equally. Yin is such a mindful practice. It is almost, well, it's the physical form of meditation, I guess. It really helps. You're focusing on the posture, you're being guided by the teacher, and everything else just fades away. Remembering that this could go either way. It could get less intense or more intense, but just making sure you're choosing the right thing for you, backing away or taking yourself to that second edge. may have felt really intense for some of you, or some of you may have wanted to stay for longer, but just no attachment to that either way. Bringing those knees back in towards the chest and give yourself a cuddle. Maybe a little rock from side to side. Okay, and hopefully you've got either pillows or bolsters around. And you're going to just very slowly and gently press yourself up so you can place the bolster behind your back, and you're going to come into sleeping butterfly. So the soles are still going to remain with focus on those hips and into the sacral chakra. And that will be our place to bind our consciousness. So lying yourself back on your pillows just to elevate the chest and support the head, and allow the soles of the feet to come together and let the knees fall out to the side. And if you need to, you can use your bricks to prop up those knees, or cushions like that, one on either side. So remember, it's not about taking yourself to the point where you're going to feel extreme all the way through the time that we hold this posture. It's about a gentle surrender into it. So take yourself to a point where you feel like you could just go a little bit more as the time goes on. Try not to race yourself to that, to the full extent of the posture and how your body can open. Just go there slowly and mindfully and with compassion, with kindness towards yourself. Remember that practice of ahimsa a few weeks ago, being kind to yourself. And just settling in and allowing the cushions or the bolster to support your back. Just enjoying a little bit of an opening in the heart area, but bring your focus still back to those hips, back to the pelvis, back to that orange energy there, your sacral chakra. Three minutes. The essence of the sacral chakra is knowing that what we have and do is good enough. And finding the balance between control and letting go is essential for this chakra to function. And it takes discipline and maturity to balance this chakra. Bind your consciousness to the color orange or to the functioning of this chakra. Maybe your orange light is spinning. Maybe it's glowing. Just bind your consciousness to the sacral chakra. As you breathe in, imagine pouring that vitality, that energy, that life force into that sacral chakra. And as you exhale, just allow your body to surrender, to let go. So you're over halfway there. Help those knees together. So take your hands to the outside of those knees and help those knees together. You can hug your knees in nice and tight. And just for a moment, so bring your knees into Apanasana. Just for a moment, kind of like observe what's going on with your body and kind of respond to what your body's calling for you to do. You've just done some real deep opening up into the hips. So respond to what your body's calling for you to do. You can remove the bolster as you squeeze those knees in. Maybe you feel like you want to windscreen wiper your knees. Maybe you want to do a full body stretch here. Just taking some time just to reset here. As we then move our conscious awareness up into our solar plexus, which is yellow in color. So for here, definitely make sure you've removed your bolster or your cushions out of the way. And we're going to come into twisted roots. So if you find that twists are a little bit intense for you, then you can just take both knees to one side without wrapping the legs around each other. So you're going to T-shape your arms out to the side, and you're going to wrap your right leg around your left, okay? And then you're going to allow the right leg to draw the left knee across over to the right into a twisted root. So it's a little bit more intense than just your knees being stacked. So you've got your right leg over your left, wrapping those legs into these twisted roots, and then slowly allowing both knees to fall over to the right. Okay, you can use bolsters to prop up the knees if you wish. So if I go to the other side and you need to look, you can pop bolsters underneath here. Okay, so take yourself over, and as you settle into this twisted roots, I'd like to just make sure that your both shoulder blades are flat to the floor. That you're able to, so your left side hasn't left the floor. Just hug that left shoulder blade back down. And if at any time during this posture it gets a little bit too much, having your legs wound together, then just unwind them and stack the knees. Okay, just unwind them and stack the knees. And then bring your awareness, once you've got settled into the posture, to your waist. Okay, so your waist area and your solar plexus, your Manipura chakra, is just below the breastbone there, the sternum, and above the navel. And this is where this beautiful yellow, self-empowering energy resides. So initially let your consciousness be bound to the yellow color. So as you breathe in yellow, vibrant light into that space, the midsection of your body. And perhaps as you breathe out, you can just allow that yellow to spread throughout the rest of your body. As I said, visualization is so powerful. Inhale, charging up that solar plexus. Exhale, allowing that energy to spread throughout the rest of your body. Remember to make adjustments if it becomes too intense. This is your center of personal identity. All you need to focus on right here, right now, is pouring prana, life force energy into your solar plexus. Dharana, focusing your awareness. If it becomes too intense with the legs wound, then unwind them and just come into a regular recline twist. So unwind your legs first, slowly, and then bring the knees back. Just readjust by bringing the knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a cuddle, maybe a little rock from side to side. Lovely. And getting ready to go the other side. So arms are still T-shaped out. You can bring the knees towards the chest and you're going to wrap the left leg around and you're using the left leg to draw the right knee down over to the left side. And again, you can have cushions underneath your knees here, or maybe the knees will come to the floor, but it's quite intense. So just be really mindful that you don't take yourself over that boundary, that natural boundary. Hug the right shoulder blade back down into the mat and just settle in. It's up to you where you take the gaze. Some teachers teach opposite, some straight up, some same side. You know, just go with the flow, go with what your body is asking of you. So if you feel inclined to look the opposite way, then take the gaze the opposite way. Just settle in. Just keeping your focus on that solar plexus. Trying to maybe get a sense of how your solar plexus is functioning right now. After a little bit of work on that other side, perhaps your yellow light is shining a bit brighter. This solar plexus chakra is the center for personal development. When we accept ourselves and know we are worthy of love and respect, we feel at peace and generate peace around us. All of those last three limbs, even though we are focusing on Dharana today, all of the last three, Dharana, Dhyana, and Samadhi, collectively they are progressive states of concentration, meditation. Both Taoism and Buddhism believe that within each of us is a precious pearl. And this small gem reflects the entire universe. Through the practice of concentration, leading to meditation, we can come closer to this part of us that is at peace, content, and equanimous. Your focal point here is the solar plexus, is that yellow energy. Very slowly unwind those legs first. And then inhale, bring those knees back to center. Again, give yourself a cuddle, a little rock from side to side. And we're going to move up the chakras to our heart. So the energy center of the heart. So having your bolster or your cushions or even a brick, we're going to come into supported fish pose. So you might want cushions and a brick. So you want to be elevated in your heart and throat space here, but not so that you're really got your neck straightening as you go back. So you want your head to be a little bit lower. So you can have your knees bent if you want to, or you can extend your legs out front. So I'm going to show you here with my knees bent, feet flat on the floor, chest is lifted, and my head is a little lower. I can even put the brick flatter to get an openness in the chest. So that bolster or the cushions is just like across where your shoulder blades would be, just lifting the sternum up higher. And you're just going to allow the hands to just drape either side, just holding here. If your back allows you to, if you feel comfortable, you can extend the legs out and just take the feet mat width apart, okay? But you choose where you'd like to be and shift your conscious binding to your heart center. And here we're going to visualize the color green. So you want to bind your awareness, your consciousness to a beautiful, vibrant green. So take some time. Get settled into this fish pose, this supported fish. And see if you can start to visualize the color green. And once you have that vision of green, bring it to your heart center. And this is your focus. This is your concentration for this posture. Just visualize a beautiful green light right at your heart center. This is the middle of your chest. Just working your way, using your breath at the edge of comfort, and then making that resolution to yourself to remain still for the time that I'm holding. Remember to relax. Without the relaxation of your muscles, the work can't work deep into your connective tissue, your fascia. Remember that Yin Yoga is a practice of self-care. This is your opportunity once a week to move away from the hustle and bustle, away from this yang style of living, of doing, of moving, of planning. Just allowing yourself to be. Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha. Yoga is the stilling of the fluctuations of the mind. That's what we're here to try to achieve. All the asanas in the yang practice, all of those are there to lead us to be able to sit and concentrate and then meditate, to then find that last level, samadhi, connection with true self. Enlightenment, whatever you want to call it. And you can practice dharana with anything like breath, color. Tratak meditation, candle meditation is dharana, is practicing dharana. You're focusing on the candle as the object. So right here, right now, pour your breath, your energy into that heart chakra and allow that green energy to glow. So just rolling over onto your side, so you're able to then move that bolster or the cushion out of the way, and then roll back onto your back once the bolster, cushion or the props are out of the way, and just find a nice little Shavasana again for about 30 seconds. And just notice the feelings and sensations in your heart space there. Let that be your focus, the feelings and the sensations. So if thoughts are popping up, just let them pass on by like clouds in the sky and keep bringing your focus, your concentration back to those physical feelings in the body after completing that posture. Okay, so from here, there's going to be a few ways you can do this. If you are familiar with, in the Yang practice, plow pose, halasana, or in the Yin practice, it's called snail. If you know how to get yourself into plow or snail, so there's a few things you can do. So once you've got yourself, if you don't find that your toes touch the floor, you can have a brick behind you. I'll show you here, taking the brick behind you so your toes can come on the brick. We're bringing emphasis to our throat, okay? So a little bit of a throat lock going on here. If this is going to be too intense for you guys, you can come into cradling your hips and have your feet behind you. You'll still get a little bit of throat stimulation there. If this still is too intense, take your bolster or your cushions. I'm just going to come down, grab my bolster, place it underneath your lower back there, and be supported and take your feet behind you, okay? So what you can do then is slightly tuck the chin in, okay? So slightly tuck the chin in so you get a little bit of a stimulation there in the throat area, and just holding here. So you're supported with that bolster or cushion underneath that, that lower back, and just being held in this snail variation, if you like, okay? Just lengthen the back of the neck if you are in this variation where you're supported, and just tucking the chin slightly so you can feel some compression there in the throat. You can feel some stimulation there in the throat. Vishuddha. Vishuddha is your throat chakra, and the energy and color is blue. Beautiful sky blue. Yesterday, the sky was completely blue, with that beautiful bright blue sky, and then all of the beautiful white snow. So get the picture of blue in your mind and then draw it to your throat center, and let this be where your consciousness is bound into the throat. Just drawing energy into that Vishuddha, looking for cultivating that balance in this throat chakra, chakra of communication. Keep visualizing that beautiful blue sky, blue color. bringing that color to your throat center. See your blue light. It can be big or small, it can be moving or still. And let that be your focus. The throat chakra is the gateway to higher spiritual realms and is sometimes referred to as the mouth of God in esoteric teachings. And this refers to the point at the back of your neck being simulated here now in this posture, near the medulla oblongata, the lowest part of the brain in the vertebrae, where higher spiritual energy is channeled into the body. And this occurs when the mind is free and the spirit open, said to be where angels whisper in our ears, and spiritual inspiration gives our lives meaning and cohesion. If you're in the full plow, come down very mindfully and slowly with control. Those of you that are supported underneath your sacrum there, just rolling away those pillows or those bolsters, lowering yourself down. That's it. And just hugging the knees in or coming into a full shavasana. If you feel like you want to stretch out into a full shavasana, then you can do, or you can hug the knees in just for about 30 seconds. So choosing how you want to reset your body after that posture. You might even want to turn your head from side to side, just to loosen off there in the neck. And then very slowly and mindfully, you're going to roll over onto your side and find your way into child's pose. And if you feel like your head is way off the floor, then definitely using a brick, because I want you to bring connection with the third eye, that space between your eyebrows, to the floor. You can also be supported with your bolster in child's pose if you want to. So pushing that bolster right the way through, kind of straddling the bolster, coming down, bringing the block in front of your face and letting that third eye rest upon the block and just allowing yourself to rest. Now it's up to you where you want to have your arms. You can take them behind you, can reach them out in front, just so long as you have that connection with that space between your eyebrows and either on a brick or the floor, okay? So wherever feels good for you. If you have got a bolster between your legs, you're probably going to need a brick to bring the floor to you. And your eyes are closed, and bring that internal gaze, almost like you're going to go buzz-eyed, looking internally to your third eye, your Ajna chakra. And this is where you're going to bind your consciousness now to the Ajna chakra. As you breathe in, just follow the breath up right to the root of the nose and allow that from the root of the nose, that breath to stimulate that Ajna chakra. Okay. And then as you exhale, you can spread that energy throughout the rest of your body. So really visualize breathing in through the nose, stimulating that beautiful purple color right at the center of your brows, and exhale, surrendering and letting go a little bit more. Let your Ajna chakra be your focus, the point of your concentration. Find your edge and find the stillness. Practice and all is coming. It takes practice to focus. It takes practice to concentrate. The mind is going to want to wander. You are going to have thoughts pop up here, there, and everywhere. And that is okay. The key is that you recognize that. You just gently let all those thoughts go, and you just bring your awareness over and over again back to whatever it is you are focusing on. And right here, right now is that Ajna chakra. It is pouring that prana into your Ajna chakra and balancing out that energy there. Seat of intuition and wisdom. Breathing into the root of the nostrils, into that space. And then exhale, surrendering, letting go. So from here, it's not very often we get to do a lovely downward dog in a yin practice, but just rise up into a tabletop, remove whatever equipment you have around you, and just press yourself up into a little reset downward dog. Stretch out those legs. So palms firmly pressing down into the ground, little L shape there with the index finger and thumb, squeezing the finger and thumb together. Almost like you want to pinch the floor. That will protect your wrists. And just paddle out those heels up and down. And we're going to come full circle, okay? Full circle into dangling pose once more to bring awareness to the crown of our head. So start to walk all the way to the front of the mat. Standing here, just 2 minutes now back in dangling pose. You don't have to hold the elbows if this feels too intense. But just allow yourself to dangle here. But your focus this time, instead of the feet, is the crown of your head. Sahasrara, your crown chakra. So just for a moment, get yourself to your edge in this posture. And then take your focus and awareness to the crown of your head. Some like to say the color associated with this is like an indigo sort of color, or white. I actually prefer to visualize white. The chakras act as a ladder to love, spirituality, and healing, from the base energy of the root chakra, which anchors us in life, to the more refined spiritual energy of the crown chakra. So as you breathe in, imagine the breath penetrating right to that crown, and then exhale, you surrender, you let go. Binding your consciousness, your awareness to the crown. Sahasrara. Very slowly from here, taking yourself back down onto your bum, lying down into Shavasana. Get yourself comfortable. Hopefully you still have your jumpers and things on. So lying nice and flat, feet mat width apart, using bolsters underneath the knees if you need to, pillows underneath the head, and just relax down. And just come back to that wonderful breathless pause. Just let go of control. Breathing in, breathing out. The act of meditation is like feeding a bird. It requires 3 qualities: stillness, patience, and presence. Stillness, as the bird first needs to gain trust in you. Patience, as you wait for the bird to come and land. And presence, so you don't miss the event. It's a nice quote by someone called Nico Luce. And the mind wanders, that's okay. Just come back to being present, to what is being shown to you. Slowly bringing your awareness back into your physical body, back into the space in which you are in. To become aware of the weight of your body on the mat, the points of contact of your body on the floor. Become aware of your surroundings, the ceiling, the walls, the floor. Any sounds that you might hear in the space that you're in. And just take a moment to notice how you feel compared to before you started this practice. Just store any feelings of peace, of calm, any sense of feeling balanced. Take a nice deep breath in. And as you allow the breath to leave, just contemplating, moving, wiggling your fingers and toes, maybe moving your head from side to side. If you feel compelled to remain still, that's absolutely fine. Just honor that and stay still for a couple more breaths. If you have begun to move, you can just start to stretch out maybe into a full body stretch, or bring the knees into the chest, or do some twisting, whatever you feel compelled to do. And there's no rush at all. But when you're ready, rolling over onto your side, make a pillow with your hands, just resting in fetal position, just for a few more breaths. And then very slowly and mindfully, pressing yourself back up to seated, finding Sukhasana, easy pose, still nice and tall through the spine, lifted from the crown of the head, rooted from the sitting bones. Bringing your hands to prayer, Anjali Mudra, the heart center. And we'll seal our practice with 3 arms. So we're going to inhale and exhale to prepare. Deep breath in. Long breath out. Inhale. Place the hands either side of the thighs, palms to floor. Take a moment to reground, to reset. Inhale, scoop up all the energy you cultivate in your practice this evening. Palms together overhead. Exhale, bring that energy down through the center line of the body. Fingertips back down to the mat. And again, hands either side. Inhale deeply. Exhale fully. Last time. Hands either side. Inhale, scoop up all that peace, that calm, that wonderful energy and love. And on the exhale, bring it all to your heart center. Take another deep, nourishing breath in. And as you exhale, lower your chin to chest, offering your head to your heart. And very gently, blinking the eyes open a few times. And bowing the head, Om Shanti, Namaste.